Yeah. Okay, sure. Alright. Let's get back here. So working on a few things. It's not safe. Accept. Confident are you? Sample it 5 times. Sure, let's try this. If you need more labels from me, just let me know and I can label more, right? With the pre-fills. Let's try it. Also need to check GPT reset. So I'll need to use reset probably. Ah, okay, nice, we got the reset. Let's go. Alright. Can I just do this now? Oh wait, I need to. Okay. Need to connect my accounts. Providers. Codex says it's logged in. Why is it not? Start a new thread or switch providers. Start a new thread. It's laggy. Okay, now it's working. Okay. I need to start new threads. Keep this one on Opus. Can you make any kind of to GPT 5.6? I'm gonna swap this one. Let's see if they tweeted about the reset. Beginning July 20th, Fable 5 have included all max plans at 50% again. You rolled it out, the plans and stages, and frustrating. Yeah, but 50% is literally nothing. So 20x plan is now the 10x plan. Yeah, exactly. Alright. This one, yeah. This is just shameless. Like, you're better off getting Kimi. Because Kimi is also the 10x plan and Kimi is cheaper. Right. Alright, we'll do some arena runs in a while, but first do. Okay. Pretty soul, extra high, full access. So please read that and then let's continue. I still have the other terminal open. If you have any questions about where we last left off, please let me know. But on turns out to be meaningful here. I don't know. Alright, so let's get some designing. So both of them returned, and anything change? No. This. Agents online, true outputs, queue health task. I put a little bar there. Okay, I think I go B, but you don't really care, right? About stats. Maybe you do. Okay, should be. Okay, but let's. Okay, looks fine so far. Can we add some little more UI nice features, like a little more tweaks, like for example, in the top right it says local engine. What does this mean, local engine? Also, ideally, it should tell. Okay, it's telling models. That's fine. Yeah, it's staying the models in the middle, which is fine, right? Also, ideally, the user can pick the model as the orchestrator, right? So they can choose if they want orchestrator, Fable, GPT, or whatever, right? Depending on their subscriptions. And then also the need you, I think, is a little weird. Like, yeah, we can use it for showcasing errors and stuff, right? But like it's a little bit too much. It's clogging a little bit, right? Also, what exactly is the directives? Like like there are a lot of things that are like too much there, so try to put little, right? Like the more minimalist the better, in my opinion, right? But we don't want to remove needed information, right? But the less the more minimalist is better. I wish I could choose this model, just the Kimi, but I haven't tried. Oh wait, I need to try the Kimi layout. Pizzeria remains blocked. Yeah, we got rid of bridge memory. We will look for a new memory system. Can you continue from the handoff, please? Thank you. Alright. So this delete. Yes. Now I want to make a new one. GPT Soul. Hello. Can you design or look up a memory system for our project, please. Thank you. We use bridge memory, but we got rid of it. I know there was one Graphify, but I let it take a look, and I don't think we installed it for reasons, right? So just look for memory systems, and let's look for the best one, the most robust one. So you'll need to do a lot of research, right? You can make a prompt for sub-agents if you want to send them on a research for a good memory system. Then we want to use that, thank you. This one is here, delete. Okay, that's good. This is working, and this, okay. I need to check where it is here. I have 3 designs in here. Can you spin up a local test server so I can know what it looks like? This is for the app UI. It's lagging. Yeah, app is good, but there is this one bug. It's a pretty good app from Theo. This is the only issue. Sometimes just give it a minute. The PC is not even laggy, it's just the app itself. I'm not even dropping frames. CPU is a bit high, but should be fine. Okay. Checking AK3. Yeah, I'm very curious about that one. Can you spin up one GPT 5.6 Sol medium agent and ask for its opinion on the way you are doing things? See if there is room for improvement or other possible improvement things, right? Like the way we are labeling, the way we are testing models, the way we are training. You are training models, right? The way you're giving information. Really question it, everything, so that you know, like, you're doing everything correctly, right? The way you're doing it. I'll need to put it in notepads. Didn't have this issues yesterday. Like, I mean, I had it, but not as much. This is like excessive. Here. Ah! Wait, this is okay, this is the wrong one. Yeah, let's move this. So it's still working, but this is I guess it's fine, right? What is this? Okay, this is better here than this. Why can I select model here? It makes no sense. On the top right, it says, okay, what does this mean? Also, ideally, it should indicate the models. Okay. So what I meant with indicate the models is that when a user clicks build or manage, right, and gets a new screen, right, they can type in a prompt, right, and then when they're typing in that prompt, next to it, under dispatch or on dispatch, it should say ask them to pick a model, right? So the default model will be selected based on the connected subscription, right? You're connected to it. Cloud Code, right? It should default to Opus or Fable, right? But they can select the model, right? That they want to pick, right? Not like in the top right in the green, right? That's bad. But place it like under dispatch or next to dispatch, right? With a nice little interface. Thank you. Also, can you add an options menu in the bottom left, please? Current capabilities and tools. Limitations. Yeah, I think it's fine. I think this is a pretty good start though. So let's try to keep going on this and let's see how much we can improve it more. Let me see also. Alright, focus back. This is not bad either. This is from the agent mode. Yeah, okay. What? Building a meditation app called Lumen. Okay, not really what I want. It's special, right? Check. Give me one. Build me a web app for my dog walking clients. Okay, this is pretty sick. Except like there are a few things right to change, but it's pretty sick. Right. Can use a few tweaks. I feel like we can get somewhere, but you just need to combine everything. Okay, so here's the deal. I think some have nice features, right, that we want to use, we can use, but it's like you want to use a little bit of everything, right? So I will need to keep tweaking with you. Can you look for some basic front-end skills that people use, right? Or like some tools that we can use to build out a better front end than just me telling in the CLI. Not bad. I just don't like this screen. It's good as an intro, right? But not like... Actually, yeah, it's good as an intro, right? But not after the intro, right? And we also need a tutorial, right? But... Okay, so this will get ditched. Give me right focus and should it be? I think it should be in the middle somehow. Awaiting your downbeat. Floor keeps moving while these wait. Give the downbeat. What is a downbeat? This can act as a, but then, yeah. There's a menu, right? When something is ready or running, you can click on it. And this gets overwhelmed. Actually, this is good as a logging system, right? Still a bit tough. Okay. Okay, it came back with a lot. Is it doing this again? I think GPD like doesn't like to troll. Okay, so again, right, the clean holdout, I do not agree, right? I think you should pre-fill them, then I could change them, right? Because again, I said in the past many times, right, that yes, I know you want clean holdout, but this is still clean holdout, right? Like, I am inconsistent, right? A machine is more consistent than me, so we want consistency, right? And in order to get that, we need the pre-fills, right? if there is something I don't agree with, right, I will say it like I did before, right, in the last test we did, right? So that's totally fine by me, right? But we want the prefills. We do not want to go blind. I swear, for some reason, it's so fucking hard, like, so robust on doing everything blind for no fucking reason. Yeah, I think this is working. Alright, that's a lot of shit, yo. Project scope markdown memory. I am down for the project scope markdown memory if you can build it out, right? That's but also like graffiti is for graphs, right? It's not really for memory, but it's for visualization. Also, please implement the markdown correctly, right? Because you'll need to do it yourself, I think. So you will need to add hooks and stuff, right? So that the LLMs know to write in the memory when they make changes. Right, but we also need proper structuring, all that stuff, right? So you will need to look at existing memory systems to get to know how they work, and then you can build it out. All right. Base shall be is renders the artifact being built. Oh wait, let me do this first. I was confused. Sure, that's fine if you want that, but I'm telling you there will be disagreements, but like just because I label inconsistent, like some will be a recap and I will label commentary, right? But that's really no big deal at all. As long as we analyze right, his tweets, right, and the translation is correct from the LLMs. That's really the most thing I care about, right? All right. So what is it saying? Orbital. But each design is best at orbital. Yes. Headquarter. I disagree. This okay, but the screen they are slop. Let's do. Let's scrap B, right? Let's work on orbital and orchestra, right? But let's yeah, to tell me what do I need to install to help you design better, so to say. Wait, can I? Does this have a browser? Let's fucking go. Grab B. Just let's see. Design better. What tools? Can I click on this? Lock aspect ratio. But I can do. Yeah, I can just click on here. Okay, let's grab B. I can see a browser in the local host, so let's use the orbital right in the color palette of A, and let's put them on C. Can you get some front-end skills to build out a design like that for me? Thank you. I think it will be bad, but I think it will be bad. Wait, this is different. So I change the aspect ratio. Okay, how can we clear some of these findings? And also, I think you are being a little bit too strict about this. Like, can you tell me in less technical terms what you need from me? Can you clear these things yourself? Question mark. So this is work. I kinda want to do different, but okay, so let's get rid of this. It's going nowhere. But do you want to? Maybe I can go back to Kimi and give it Kimi. Maybe I can go back and give it, and then let it change. That would be dope. I use my Kimi, so I need new accounts. Let me try. Okay, three quotas used. Yeah, I need to. Why the fuck is it in Chinese? My web app changed to Chinese. What? Translate. It was fine just a second ago. I don't know why it's Chinese now. There is. In fucking Chinese. Okay, can you well, I guess I'm clicking some buttons. I don't need to see to be able to build. Right now. Right. Okay, 3. Am I IP locked? I think this is the IP lock. Media usage. Just wait, what? It's not what I copied. Oh yeah, great. Can you look at this design system and tweak it a little bit? I want you to change the colors to a violet themed color palette, and also I want you to change the middle part to a orbital system, right? So that the orchestra kind of like an orbital system. Then what else do I want to change? It's fine, right? It's fine, yeah. The only we need a way to add terminal. And also command inspect close, way to add terminal and a way to add the other thing, the business thing. It's on top. Can you also add in the top left a little icon where the user can select what type they want to use to build? Like we have workflows, we have CLIs, right? And we also have managing a business, right? So the user can ideally select what the type of operation they want, right? And that will be, yeah. I don't need to say more, but that's colors to validate. I also change the part to orbital system. Why does it keep adding the right? Did I say that much right? Good thinking. Dat is geposeerd vanwege een grote vraag. What do you mean? It's 10 a.m. It's 11 a.m. bro. Alright. GPT, come out clutch please, thank you. Okay, this is an annoying fucking bug. Because I'll have a scroll bug. Iterate present or missing reference and automatic falsifier. I don't know what the fuck that means. Okay, for the high falsifiers, I have no idea what it means. Can you elaborate what they mean and where exactly they are? Wait, they are. Alright, so that's working. I don't understand why this keeps moving. Okay, but why did you make it for quant strategies? You are inside of cloud projects, the root folder, no? Like, we need this memory system for every single project that we have and that we will make in the future. Like, I don't really understand what you did here. Please leave quant strategies alone, right? You are different. No, it's not. Why is it broken? Yeah, let me fix this first. Check. The only thing that's broken is this app. Yeah, it's working. I don't hear my mic though. Why is that? Why am I not hearing mic? I am hearing mic. Right. Cloud projects, root folder, every single project in the future. I did it here. stream is fine. Great. But I can't chat. So this is working. Turns down. Okay, this is still working, so we'll let it finish. And then Kimmy is still dead. There are no unresolved TIE files fired now. Okay. Just fixing it. Okay. Workspace white, yes. Okay, let's do this one. Change this one to D. Okay, so this is basically the same, exactly the same. This is not. This is all, like, for some reason, Kimi did better on the worst color than GPD Soul did. Just pretty insane to me, but okay. This is better. This is better than this, right? Then okay, great work on the orbital. The colors still seem a bit off to me. Can you do some research on colors and try a few different options for me? And also like present a few different options for me. And also feel free to spin up GPT 5.6 Sol medium agent to also make some designs. Let's try a few different tweaks in these designs, but it's getting close to what we want, right? It's just not there yet. So let's try a few different things, right? And then we can go from there. Thanksgiving service finished running. Just a question, this is still on the data, right? That you are handling this, or what phase is this exactly? I need to check if my libraries complete. Come on, give me. Okay, where is it down? Okay, it's down. Give me that. I had an issue and had to pause the task. The task has been paused due to high demand. Yeah, so this is certainly better than this. Let's leave it up. Let's see what this came up with. Okay, I think I can close this now. It's not good. This is still entirely the data layer. Okay, good. Can you fully clear the data layer? Tell me when it's fully cleared. Try to use sub-agents for this. Also, let's start preparing on the next steps, please. I think you may have to read the library for the next steps, right? Also, tell me if you need any upgrades for the library. We really want to explore every single angle of machine learning that we have, even to upgrade our systems, right? So let's, unless there are the next steps somewhere planned. Let's understand all. Why is it sometimes like... Not sure. Color research. For color palettes. Dark surface ramps, pure black is out, it gives elevation, you can shadow. Turning every AI generated interface on Earth indigo. Shape of AI nodes purple. GG. Okay, but how can I... Can you render the color palettes in the local host for me so I can see what the color palettes look like? Right, this is workspace memory. Okay, that is way too much text for me to read. Can you shorten it? It's lagging. Yeah, but I don't. Understood the scope, stop the squad to the now building. Reusable template per out. Okay. Okay, thank you. We also have to make sure that every agent, right, at Claude or Codex or whatever I'm using, knows to use these memory systems. Are you also applying that, or? It's stuck. Normally I can add things, but I guess I have to wait. Yeah, it was just lagging. Exactly what I'm wiring, okay. Displaying the 3 independent checks. still think we had to make a plan, but I'm not sure. But we had an artifact with everything on it, but that's not really a plan. Am I really gonna have to fork this and fix this error myself? This is so annoying. Can you make sure to check the index in the library and do efficient pulling of information, right? Let's think of the next steps and let's start planning them out about what we want to do, right? Phase 1 is making sure the data is correct, right? There are more ways we can get data other than just 1 minute bars, right? Like we can try strategies and then use the entry as data, right? But there are more other ways like the VIX and stuff, right? We can try to predict. So we will need to think about what types of data we want for phase 0, and then we need to plan out what types of data we want, right? We want to use. The main two I want to use is the bars, right? Resample to 5 minutes, 15 minutes, 1 hour, and then also the strategies, right? Where we use a trigger lab to find baseline strategies tested from with a nice depth OOS through OOS split starting from 2021. But we will need to look if the upgrades to the trigger lab kit have been applied. I think they have. We did some research yesterday, added it into the library for our trigger lab kit about how to use machine learning to upgrade it, right? So I think it's upgraded, but I'm not sure. Also, maybe we want to do one final check about seeing what else we can upgrade on the trigger lab kit, because not every single strategy will have the same variables, right? Like a fair value gap will need different variables than the EMA cross, than the VWAP strategy, than the RSI strategy, then the volume climax, right? Everything will need different types covered, so you will have to check if everything has different types covered, right? And if you need more research, tell me. I will send a different LLM on it to do extensive research, right? To save some credits. So like this. This is a long ass text. So inventory shows a platform much further current progress. Okay, so I have a plan, right? Alright. Oh, is codex down? It's working. I don't know if it's working or not. I guess we'll never know. Okay, this is so fucking annoying. Like, this codex really down. This is also another bug. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything. Well, I'm gonna go for a minute. Right. So there's no difference here in color at all. The fuck is this? What? All four alive in your browser. So the new. No. What? What exactly did you do? I asked you to render the color palettes in the local host so I can see the difference in colors. The swim lanes are fucking awful. Like, where did you get confused exactly? And how did you fuck up? Like what? Every project will have agents, but cloud session starts up agents, hooks on the main agent, and delegates of agent from memory context. Okay, but you think about smartly, right? Like we don't want every agent to keep pulling the memory context, right? Because the memory will be huge, right? So that we will, like, we don't want to spend a lot of tokens, right? Like after, let's say, running as for 10 days, right? Like how we don't know how big the memory will be, right? And then if every agent needs to recall the memory, it will be a lot of tokens, right? So we need to figure out a smart way to actually do this step. Like, yeah, because I don't really know a smart way to do this step. I don't know what the best way is, so I'll just do it. Tweaks. Okay, I don't see the... Oh, here. Lower. This is kind of same. I guess it's better, but I don't know why, but the yellow grows on me, but it's like kind of bad at first, right? And the orange is also really bad. Okay, I see it now. Yeah, so the tweaks are bad. I see the different colors, however. I'm still not sold on the colors. Can you ask a GPT agent about the colors? And also, we like the yellow grows on me, but it's really ugly when you see it at first, right? So I don't really want to use yellow. I think a blue color is fine, right? But we will need to explore the options here. We can also go colorless if you want, but I just want to keep running through some designs until we get what we want. Not a tiny right and current digestion marker. Okay, good. Okay, so labeler is live. And this is still working, but I need to wait until this comes back. Wait until this comes back. And yeah, it was just fucking ugly. We are using that. Come on, why are you broken? Okay. No. Dude, it's fucking out, man. Okay, I'm TBA with this. Holy shit, man. Okay. Start a new. Okay, good job. I have another question. Right now I am using T3 Code. It's an open source app to use to help vibe coding. However, the current app is broken. Like, I get a lot of issues that I will address, but I want you to see if you can fix them from the installation, or if we need to clone it, like clone the GitHub repo to make the changes ourselves. But yeah, man. Okay. Alright. Get out the terminal. Get out the terminal. Why is every vibe code app so fucking bad? Wait. So let's go high. Hello, I'm using an app called T3 Code. However, it has a few bugs that I want to look to fix because it is unusable with those bugs. Maybe check if you can make the changes with the app installation. Like, I haven't installed right, but the whole repo is open source, so if anything we can clone it and then look to fix the bugs ourselves. The main bugs are that the app freezes. Like, I try to click on it and then it just keeps spinning, right, and it freezes. And then the other one is that I disconnect for some reason from my providers, even though I do not disconnect from my providers, right? But the app says it. And then I can't type in it, right, because I'm disconnected. So we need to look to fix those issues. Those are the biggest ones right now. Like the... wait, this one. Oh, this don't work, I forgot. I'm getting trolled. Okay. That worked. And then is the issue we keep running into that we need to fix. Alright. Let's see.
It's warm in the dead of winter. I wish I could stay forever. 'Cause when your body touches mine, that's how galaxies collide. I never noticed the light before you. We fell away from the place where we once loved. I'm never sure, but I swear that you gave up. And there will be a day I'm okay alone. Until then, I can't wait to let you go. Tell me how my heart goes on. Tell me how my heart goes
Well, at least we can do some labels, I guess. Or not.
I still see your face in my
Well, I guess everything's broken today.
maybe in another lifetime.
Apparently stream is broken, my web is broken, my app is broken, Gimme is broken.
I never wanted someone until you. There will be a day I'm okay alone. But till then, I can't wait to let you go. Tell me how our heart goes on.
I guess I'll call it here because like it really can't work like this. This is just horrendous. Oh wait, I can study. Wait, study some machine learning. Well, if I get banned for this, then we will. Then we will see. But for now, alright, time study chat.
Remember that the cost function gives you a way to measure how well a specific set of parameters fits the training data, and it thereby gives you a way to try to choose better parameters. In this video, we'll look at how the squared error cost function is not an ideal cost function for logistic regression, and we'll take a look at a different cost function that can help us choose better parameters for logistic regression. Here's what the training set for a logistic regression model might look like, where here each row might correspond to a patient that was paying a visit to the doctor and wound up with some sort of diagnosis. As before, we'll use M to denote the number of training examples. Each training example has one or more features, such as the tumor size, the patient's age, and so on, for a total of n features. And so let's call the features x1 through xn. And since this is a binary classification task, the target label y takes on only two values, either 0 or 1. And finally, the logistic regression model is defined by this equation. Okay, so the question you want to answer is, given this training set, how can you choose parameters w and b? Recall, for linear regression, this is the squared error cost function. The only thing I've changed is that I put the 1/2 inside the summation instead of outside the summation. And you might remember that in the case of linear regression, where f of x is the linear function w dot x plus b, the cost function looks like this, is a convex function, or a bow shape or a hammock shape. And so gradient descent will look like this, where you take one step, one step, one step, and so on to converge at the global minimum. Now, you could try to use the same cost function for logistic regression, but it turns out that if I were to write f of x equals 1 over 1 plus e to the negative wx plus b, and plot the cost function using this value of f of x, then the cost will look like this. This becomes what's called a non-convex cost function. It's not convex. And what this means is that if you were to try to use gradient descent, there are lots of local minima that you can get stuck in. So it turns out that for logistic regression, this squared error cost function is not a good choice. Instead, there will be a different cost function that can make the cost function convex again, so that gradient descent can be guaranteed to converge to the global minimum. The only thing I've changed is that I put the 1/2 inside the summation instead of outside the summation. This will make the math you see later on the slide a little bit simpler. In order to build a new cost function, one that we'll use for logistic regression, I'm going to change a little bit the definition of the cost function j of w and b. In particular, if you look inside this summation, let's call this term inside the loss on a single training example. And I'm going to denote the loss via this capital L, and is a function of the prediction of the learning algorithm, f of x, as well as of the true label y. And so the loss, given the predicted f of x and the true label y, is equal, in this case, to 1/2 of the squared difference. We'll see shortly that by choosing a different form for this loss function, we'll be able to keep the overall cost function, which is 1 over m times the sum of these loss functions, to be a convex function. Now, the loss function inputs f of x and the true label y, and tells us how well we're doing on that example. I'm going to just write down here the definition of the loss function we'll use for logistic regression. If the label y is equal to 1, then the loss is negative log of f of x. And if the label y is equal to 0, then the loss is negative log of 1 minus f of x. Let's take a look at why this loss function hopefully makes sense. Let's first consider the case of y equals 1 and plot what this function looks like to gain some intuition about what this loss function is doing. And remember, the loss function measures how well you're doing on one training example, and is by summing up the losses on all of the training examples that you then get the cost function, which measures how well you're doing on the entire training set. So if you plot log of f, it looks like this curve here, where f here is on the horizontal axis. And so a plot of negative of the log of f looks like this, where we just flip the curve along the horizontal axis. Notice that it intersects the horizontal axis at f equals 1 and continues downward from there. Now f is the output of logistic regression. Thus, f is always between 0 and 1, because the output of logistic regression is always between 0 and 1. The only part of the function that's relevant is therefore this part over here, corresponding to f between 0 and 1. So let's zoom in and take a closer look at this part of the graph. If the algorithm predicts a probability close to 1 and the true label is 1, then the loss is very small. It's pretty much 0 because you're very close to the right answer. Now, continuing with the example of the true label y being 1, so say it really is a malignant tumor, if the algorithm predicts 0.5, then the loss is at this point here, which is a bit higher but not that high. Whereas in contrast, if the algorithm were to have output 0.1, if it thinks that there's only a 10% chance of the tumor being malignant, but y really is 1, it really is malignant, then the loss is this much higher value over here. So when y is equal to 1, the loss function incentivizes or it nudges or it helps push the algorithm to make more accurate predictions because the loss is lowest when it predicts values close to 1. Now on this slide, we've been looking at what the loss is when y is equal to 1. On this slide, let's look at the second part of the loss function corresponding to when y is equal to 0. In this case, the loss is negative log of 1 minus f of x. When this function is plotted, it actually looks like this. The range of f is limited to 0 to 1 because logistic regression only outputs values between 0 and 1. And if we zoom in, this is what it looks like. So in this plot, corresponding to y equals 0, the vertical axis shows the value of the loss for different values of f of x. So when f is 0 or very close to 0, the loss is also going to be very small, which means that if the true label is 0 and the model's prediction is very close to 0, well, you nearly got it right. So the loss is appropriately very close to 0. And the larger the value of f of x gets, the bigger the loss, because the prediction is further from the true label 0. And in fact, as that prediction approaches 1, the loss actually approaches infinity. Going back to the tumor prediction example, this says that if a model predicts that the patient's tumor is almost certain to be malignant, say 99.9% chance of malignancy, but it turns out to actually not be malignant, so y equals 0, then we penalize the model with a very high loss. So in this case of y equals 0, similar to the case of y equals 1 on the previous slide, the further the prediction f of x is away from the true value of y, the higher the loss. And in fact, if f of x approaches 0, the loss here actually goes really, really large and in fact approaches infinity. So when the true label is 1, the algorithm is strongly incentivized not to predict something too close to 0. So in this video, you saw why the squared error cost function doesn't work well for logistic regression. We also defined the loss for a single training example and came up with a new definition for the loss function for logistic regression. It turns out that with this choice of loss function, the overall cost function will be convex, and thus you can reliably use gradient descent to take you to the global minimum. Proving that this function is convex is beyond the scope of this course. You may remember that the cost function is a function of the entire training set, and is therefore the average, or 1 over m, times the sum of the loss function on the individual training examples. So the cost on a certain set of parameters W and B is equal to 1 over M times the sum over all the training examples of the loss on the training examples. And if you can find the value of the parameters W and B that minimizes this, then you'd have a pretty good set of values for the parameters W and B for logistic regression. In the upcoming optional lab, you get to take a look at how the squared error cost function doesn't work very well for classification, because you see that the surface plot results in a very wiggly cost surface with many local minima. Then you take a look at the new logistic loss function, and as you can see here, this produces a nice and smooth convex surface plot that does not have all those local minima. So please take a look at the code and the plots after this video. All right, so we've seen a lot in this video. In the next video, let's go back and take the loss function for a single training example and use that to define the overall cost function for the entire training set. And we'll also figure out a simpler way to write out the cost function, which will then later allow us to run gradient descent to find good parameters for logistic regression. Let's go on to the next video.
Alright, I just got it here. Oh. Maybe I'll stream later again. Thank you for watching. I'll probably stream later today again. Thank you for watching, and I'll see